Hello, I'm Keith Harrison and welcome to FCN. On Thursday, May the 24th, Ford chairman Red Poling visited the Dagenham plant. He appeared relaxed as he toured the facilities and chatted with the workforce.
Tom and Dave.
Mr. Poling signed certificates for 4 Suggestion Award winners who devised a new system for preventing damage to body mouldings. The visit was part of a week-long tour of Ford Europe facilities, during which Mr. Poling travelled to Cologne, Saarlouis, Valencia and Bordeaux, as well as Dagenham and Enfield here in Britain. Also last month, Ford of Britain published its 1989 annual report and accounts, which revealed the facts and figures on last year's market and financial performance. In 1989, the car market grew 3.85% to a record level of over 2 million vehicles. In that record market, Ford marginally increased its market share to 26.45%. The commercial vehicle market grew by just over 4% to a record 370,000 vehicles, of which the Ford share was 31%. Now, despite these obvious market successes, profits fell almost 30% to £483 million. This fall in profits has been blamed, in part at least, on a downturn in the market in the last quarter of 1989, when low-cost finance deals, special offers and intense advertising campaigns reduced profit margins. Added to this, the falling pound increased the costs of imported parts and vehicles. The recent profit fall can't be ignored, as the economic situation that largely caused it is still with us and apparently worsening. Derek Barron, chairman of Ford of Britain, expressed concern over the figures, but he was confident of Ford's underlying strengths.
Although we can see many uncertainties as we look forward into the future, there is one thing that is certain, that our customers of the new decade will come from all over Europe, and they'll be looking for quality, value for money, and consideration for the environment more than ever before. It won't be easy, but at Ford of Britain, I'm sure we can look forward to a bright future.
Derek Barron. Well, with me in the studio is Roland Gribben, who's the business editor of the Daily Telegraph. Mr. Gribben, what's your reaction to Ford's 1989 results?
I feel that rather like the curate's egg, it was good in parts. When you bear in mind it was a year of record sales, Ford profits were down. That's surprising, particularly when you look at what Vauxhall and Peugeot Talbot did. They had record profits, even though they had a lot of the same problems that Ford had faced with.
Now, in the video, Derek Barron was, how can I put it, cautiously optimistic. Bearing in mind the issues raised, do you think this is realistic?
I think so. The kit is there. The European dimension is becoming much more prominent, but the competition is getting tougher, so therefore there can't be any let-up in terms of improving efficiency. The Japanese are coming in force, and there's the little local problem of the Monopolies and Mergers Commission inquiry into car prices.
Mr. Gribben, thanks for joining us today. The future of this company, as with any other large commercial organisation, rests on the quality of its products. In this month's special report, Natalie Anglesey looks at 2 of our smaller plants that have taken real steps towards securing their future.
These are the ceramic insulators for just a few of the 55 million spark plugs manufactured every year for our own motorcraft range. This massive spark plug production is divided between 2 sister plants, Treforest in South Wales and Enfield in Middlesex. Plant manager Don Shafter.
We make in Treforest ceramic insulators which we assemble into spark plugs here at Enfield. Also at Enfield we make instrument clusters, gauges, fuel senders and temperature senders, all electronic products.
Electric and electronic products are expanding technologies in the motor industry, affecting more of the car than ever before. This puts pressure on a company like Ford that develops its own components to improve quality in this competitive field. New technology achieves this improvement. This Autodyne equipment at Enfield double welds platinum tips onto spark plugs, vastly increasing their durability and reliability to over 50,000 miles.
This equipment that was brought in and manufactured by Autodyne should help us lead the market in quality with this particular plug and probably many other plugs that we hope to make in the future.
Meanwhile, the Treforest plant is upgrading its entire production line to bring in more automation, allowing people to concentrate on quality control.
By the panel next to me, you see different controls, different temperature controls, and I'm looking for the best, the most optimized processing parameters to produce the best quality spark plug product.
We're talking about the difference between manually operating machines, loading, material handling, and basically visual inspection. We're comparing that with automatic operations, where our real requirement is the technology of keeping the lines going.
But in the drive for quality, new equipment is only as good as its operators. A key to improved operation has been Statistical Process Control, or SPC, which clearly lays out for every employee where quality is good and where it isn't.
This equipment enables us to build quality into a component. That is where that plays a part. But the statistical control we attach to these processes has improved our quality.
Quality means a Q1 award, which both Enfield and Treforest won last month. Ford Chairman Red Poling visited Enfield to meet the successful team.
Bill, how are you? What are you doing when you pick that up and put on?
I check to see if the wires are too high over the point.
At Treforest, Electronics Division General Manager Frank Macker joined in this celebration. Q1 is vital because it will soon be a requirement for all suppliers, including plants like these. Before these ceremonies, we found out about the immense team effort that has gone into the Q1 programme.
It's been communication with people at all levels, with our customers, with our people that work under us and above us.
Yeah, I would second that. I think communication has been an important part. In normal sort of day-to-day business, I don't suppose the normal people on the shop floor wouldn't talk to management that often. But certainly with Q1, that gap has narrowed greatly. The more responsibility you give to people, the more they'll act in a responsible manner and take on board these disciplines.
I think that we've found it's easier to make something right as to make it wrong.
Well, the Q1 is a very good thing because it gets everybody interested on what they're doing and everybody takes care of their own jobs. And I think it's good for all the way around for the company.
It makes me feel good, and I think it's great, and it's good for our future, and it's good for the company as well, I think.
Since 1978, when I was here in Europe, that I last visited this facility, and I was looking forward to coming back, and I've been delighted with what I've seen. Not only the change in the facilities, but the enthusiasm, the dedication, and the commitment of the employees. Very exciting moment.
I am proud of the company, myself, what I do. I know it's perfect. And we all try to do our best to keep it that way.
So future.
It's a good thing it happened for Treforest. You know, it put Treforest on the map, really, wouldn't it? You know.
You can feel the atmosphere in the plant has changed since we've got Q1. Everyone now feels proud of the work they produce. Everyone is confident they're producing a quality component.
What Q1 means to Treforest and to Ford Motor Company is that the disciplines and the procedures are in place which will assure that the quality of the product that Treforest produces will keep Ford competitive in their arena of spark plugs. And that's both important to Treforest for its future and also important to Ford if it's to achieve best-in-class quality in the products that we sell to our customers.
So well done to all concerned, but keep up the good work. With Saarlouis plant also celebrating its Q1 award this month, that's 3 additions to the growing list of Ford of Europe plants with Q1 status. And now, sports news. Phil Collins, no, not the singer, who hasn't driven in competition for 18 months, drove his Sierra Cosworth to victory in the recent Manx National Rally. Meanwhile, the 1990 Ford Audio Fiesta Trophy is well underway. The 5th round took place last Bank Holiday Monday at Silverstone, where newsagent Ian Briggs took 1st place, engineer Brian Farminer took 2nd, and Dunton-based Ford engineer Colin Stankham 3rd. This result takes Ford man Stankham into 3rd position in the championship with 12 rounds to go. Now, although motorsport may have made Jackie Stewart and Nigel Mansell international superstars and multi-millionaires, it's left Colin Stankham unknown and broke. But as this season's lap times prove, Colin's still got the will to win.
Ford engineer Colin Stancombe has been putting on this battle dress, or something like it, for over 20 years.
Well, I started racing way back in about 1968 with karts, and as most racing drivers do, started in karts and played about with those for several years. In the end, in 1977-78, I was British champion. And I came out of karts and went into single-seater Formula Ford cars. And I stayed in those for some 7 years, winning various championships. And then at the end of that, came into saloon cars, which is where I am now, roughly.
Last year at Pembrey, Colin's all-white Fiesta XR2i led from the first corner to the flag, and he won again at Snetterton this season. But motorsport can be dangerous, and he's not getting any younger, so why does he do it?
The thrill of motor racing for me is really about going round corners. My opinion about motor racing is that anybody can go in a straight line, but putting a car fast through a corner requires a bit of dexterity and, dare I say, skill, and that's what excites me about motor racing. I'm not exactly the most retiring of people at any time, and it is something of that in the racing, that's for sure.
If he's so confident and wins like this, why has Colin never turned professional?
Perhaps I'm not good enough to be a full-time professional driver. Yes, I win races, but that's at a certain standard, and to be professional full-time, you need to have a certain amount of ability that maybe I don't believe fully I have.
Well, despite his obvious doubts about his ability, Colin's long hours of development and testing reveal an absolute dedication to motorsport.
No, spare time doesn't really exist for many reasons. Mainly when I'm not working on the race cars, I'm doing things around the house and things like that. So it's not something that spare time never has existed for me, to be fair.
A bloke in the green car was good, wasn't he? Anyway, best of luck to Colin. That's all for now. Thanks ever so much for joining us, and we'll see you next month on FCN. Bye-bye.